proposal writing is the key that unlocks billion-dollar doors, then biohacks are the pins within the locks that make the lock respond. If you understand how belief is built, then you can influence buyers before they ever know your name. If you position your business with precision, then you can compete without connection and still win on clarity and confidence and control. And people ask me all the time, Alison, how do you win bids when you don't even know who's on the other end, the evaluators, those that are looking through your proposals? Well, I built a blueprint that proves it through preparation, and it creates readiness and positioning, which creates reach, and performance, which creates results. But sometimes the bid drops before you're ready. Sometimes the opportunity lands before you're even known by your local municipal and corporate executives. Sometimes the board votes before your name even makes it to the room. And if that happens, don't panic. If you're unseen, you can still be unforgettable. If you're uninvited, you can still enter through excellence. That's what biohacking does. It gives your proposal presence. It builds trust without touch and authority without introduction. Cold bids aren't the enemy. They are the test. They reveal how well your words work on paper when no one is standing beside them to further explain what your words mean. If you can't speak in the room, then your writing must speak for you. And if you can't prove credibility in person, then your structure must prove it on paper. This is Alison Etinoff, author of the Win Big Bids book, and today we're going to crack open biohacks. Biohacks are the tools. They turn logic into emotion and attention into action. And if you master them, your proposal will move faster through systems and linger longer in the decision rooms and land stronger in the minds of the executives. Today, we'll break down 10 biohacks, 10 ways to build trust, to capture focus, and create connection, even when you're coming in cold. Number 10, the eye tracking hack. Now, before anyone reads your proposals, their eyes decide whether or not your proposal is worth reading. I always say it like this: if the eyes get lost, the deal is lost. Use bold headings on the left and visuals on the right, and short summaries at the end of each section. You want to guide their gaze and control their path. Executives will feel your proposal is clear before they even begin to comprehend it. Number 9, I call this the rhythm hack. You want to write like music. Do any of you guys sing? I sing sometimes, and what you notice is there's a rhythm. And even sometimes I take that song that I have in my head and I transfer that into my writing. The brain loves rhythm more than reason. When your words move like music, people don't just read your words, they feel them. And I want you to do it like this. Mix long and short sentences together within your paragraphs, and punch with a one-liner after a paragraph, and read it out loud. And I want you to feel the beat. And if there are words in there that's kind of putting you offbeat, I want you to begin thinking strategically how you could remove some of these words to create more of a beat. Now, you might want to do it on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or you might want to do it on a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I know it sounds crazy right now, but I'm telling you, when you're reading words on the paper and there's a cadence to the word, it helps to train the reader's brain to be alert and emotionally in tune to your proposal. Number 8, this is a sensory hack. I want you to begin the process of thinking about painting with words. People don't buy text, they buy texture. And I like to say it like this: if they can't see it, they can't sign it. Swap vague terms for sensory ones. I'll give you an example. You don't want to say that you have great quality service. You want to say something along the lines of service that feels seamless. Or you don't want to always talk about your fast turnaround times. You want to talk about results before your coffee cools. See, you make them feel the win before it even happens. Sensory cells. Now, quick break so I can help you move faster. If you are serious about winning bids on paper, the Win Big Bids Proposal Writing Masterclass is where we do this together, step by step. You have two choices. If you want the template only, you could simply download it in the Win Big Bids vault. But if you want coaching and the community that comes along with it and live practice for the same investment, join our masterclass live and get the template included. What you get in the masterclass is a whole bunch of stuff, okay? We go through a variety of different things within masterclass. If it's for you, definitely go on in and jump in on it. Why this matters? Because the RFP cycles are speeding up. Buyers' attentions are shrinking and simplicity wins every time. The class helps you to write proposals that are easy to approve and hard to ignore. Our students report faster shortlist, clearer scoring, comments, and more invites to negotiate. All right, let's get back to the brain. We just talked about painting with words. Now let's turn recognition into revenue with buyer hack number 7, the name recognition hack. Say their name, say it strong, say it many times. Whether you're talking about the executive department, every executive's favorite sound is their own name. I like to say it like this: respect remembered because revenue returned. Use the agency or company name in headers. Mention the executive's name once, respectfully and strategically. The impact that it creates is instant familiarity, immediate trust, which leads us to hack number 6. I call this the familiarity hack. Echo their language back to them. You take the time out to read their RFPs. Don't use your own language to refer back to the municipality's problem, their issues or components within their problem. Nothing builds trust faster than sounding familiar. Speak their language, not your language. So before you sell your logic, you want to mirror your client's tone, their wording, their phrasing directly from the RFP or mission statement. Their brain says to them, they get us, which opens the door to a yes. Number 5. This leads us into what I like to call the yes momentum trail. Big contracts come from small agreements. I always like to say, stack the yes before you ask for it. Include short affirming statements. You want to say something like this: we agree safety comes first. Like you, we believe in fiscal responsibility. And by the time they get to the pricing section, they've mentally said yes over and over as they've gone through your proposal, which ultimately says at the end of it all, if I say yes here and yes here and yes here, that equals a win for you. Number 4, the reciprocity hack. You ever heard the word say it's better to give before you receive? Give before you gain. Our brains are wired for fairness. Give value, give tons of value, and then they'll feel compelled to return it back to you. I always like to say value travels faster when it moves first. Offer an insight, statistic, or a free checklist inside your proposal, teaching them things that they may not have known before. Executives remember generosity, and you will then become the obvious choice. Number 3, the story arc. I always like to say, and it's so funny, I've learned this time and time again. When I'm going in Instagram and I'm looking through Facebook, we just do the endless scroll. But you know what stops me every time? A good story. Why do stories work? Stories are anchored in emotion, and we are emotional beings first. If you learn nothing else from this channel, understand this. Everything, even right down to how our economic cycles go up and down, because every sale is based on emotion. Data informs, but stories transforms. I always like to say it like this: logic gets in the door, but emotion gets you the deal. Open sections with mini stories, challenges, solutions, and the ending result. Let your company play the guide, not the hero. Your proposal becomes memorable and magnetic the longer they're able to remember your story out of the dozens of proposals they have to look through. Just add a little story, not too much to make your proposal so much longer, but just a little story, something that really hits home to their most basic need. And we're going on to number 2. I like to call this the cognitive ease hack. You have to make it feel effortless. When reading feels easy, believing feels natural. Simplicity isn't the absence of effort, it's the presence of clarity. Use white space, short paragraphs, and plain language. I don't know how many times I have seen people issue a proposal to me that looks like a dissertation. 1 idea per paragraph, 10 words per sentence, 10 sentences per paragraph, and I'm telling you, you're going to be right on the money. Why? Because you're allowing everything within your proposal to be easily able to read. Ease equals credibility. The reader thinks this company knows what it's doing, and you just want them to understand that this is easy for you. When you start jumping through hoops and you're explaining it the hardest way possible, it just makes it appear to be that you know nothing about your business, or that you make the assessor feel like they're dumb. And you don't want to do that. You want to make the assessor feel like you're knowledgeable, you're capable and able of handling the project. I would dare say keep your proposals between a 6th to 8th grade level. And number 1, I call this the mirror neuron hack. Feel like me, think like me. This is the highest level of bio-influence alignment that the brain can manage. When they see themselves in your story, they write your success into theirs. You want to mirror their tone, you want to mirror their pacing, and you want to mirror their style. Believe it or not, in different parts of the country, when you're writing proposals, you have to write proposals in a way that locks in. So like in the New York metro area, they talk very differently in their proposals than they would in California, or down in Texas, or down in, I'm about to say Tampa, but down in Florida. You want to match the emotional rhythm of their communication. All across this country, there's different rhythms of communication. The more in tune you can become with your evaluator, the likely that your message will resonate. Read your proposal aloud and ask, does this sound like them? Their brain will begin to sync with yours. You stop being a vendor and start becoming an internal operations department. You've just learned 10 brain-based biohacks that can turn a cold bid into a contract in no time. And remember, these aren't tricks. They're tools that help people believe faster and decide better. Bids build bridges between brains. So the next time that RFP hits, don't panic. Biohack your proposal for billions. Now that you know the top 10 biohacks for proposal writing, it's time for you to learn how to watch me review the 2-page proposal that made me $25,000 a month for 3.5 months. Till next time, this is Alison Etinoff. Now go win and win big.